It might look like it was sunshine and rainbows before we got out of the house, but it wasn't.
Today was the first day of school, and Aurora starts first grade, and it started off pretty rocky. So she woke up, I woke up with her, and um, from the very start, she wasn't listening. My first thing when I tell her, after a good morning and how did you sleep, blah, 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 we're standing at the counter together, and I put her medicine in front of her. And I said, okay, take your medicine and then get yourself your yogurt. She always gets a yogurt before, or she'll eat her yogurt while I'm making her like sausage or an egg with bacon, and because she needs that protein. And mind you, my daughter's very picky, so she only gets like 3 things that she'll eat at all in the morning. So she just wasn't listening. She was dancing, she was whistling, and mind you, I have 2 babies upstairs sleeping. I have a toddler and a baby sleeping. And so I'm constantly reminding her, hey, shush, stop that, be quiet, shush, tone it down, take your medicine, take your medicine. And so finally, after I've already like on my last nerve to hear, she takes her medicine. All right. So now we just have to wait for like the 45 minutes to an hour for it to kick in. Meanwhile, she's got her yogurt and she's finally sitting down on the couch, and I've told her, okay, so at school, that means no iPad, no TV, but while you're getting ready for school. She's like, oh, I know, I forgot, but I know. So she's sitting there, and I am sitting across from her with a cup of coffee that I just poured for myself. Blessed coffee. And this is happening over and over again.
Do it fast.
Okay.
And then
Don't put it
I
down.
can have a lot of energy to battle the people that's going to come in my room.
Okay, don't put it down. Eat it, please.
Okay.
Put it in your mouth, please, and eat it. Thank you. Once she finally ate the yogurt, things got a little smoother, so I'll give her that. I think the medicine started kicking in, and both of the other kids are now awake, and the toddler gets his iPad because he has no problem eating his breakfast in the morning with his iPad. And so he gets his iPad, plus it allows me to focus on the other 2 kids. And I'm trying to nurse one child and change the toddler and get him ready and all that junk. And it's just a chaotic morning. You got 3 kids, you got to get them all dressed or at least survive in the morning, and feed them. And she has a scrambled egg, and that she's going to eat that for her breakfast. And she has to keep reminding herself, this is really great for an ADHD kid. I gave her mad props. She kept reminding herself, I can't watch Corbin's iPad, because she'll sometimes look over his shoulder to watch his iPad. I can't get distracted. And if he moved closer to her, she would relocate herself. So that was great. I give my kid a thumbs up for that. And she finally finishes her egg a little faster than I expected, which is great. I didn't have to time her. She didn't want me to time her anyway. So I didn't have to time her, and she did good. I sent her upstairs to go get dressed. That's when it all went downhill. So she went upstairs, and she was up there for about 5-10 minutes. And it doesn't take her that long to just get dressed and get done. So I peek in on her we have a video camera in her room, and from when she was small, it's just still in there right now. So I check on her, and sure enough, she is in her skivvies. So she started to get dressed, and she is playing her Legos. And I had told her the night before, no Legos, not in the morning, not on school days, because I know she can get totally distracted. She will get in the zone of her Legos and never come out for hours. And so I know it can be a distraction, and it can also be the cause of a meltdown if it's the wrong time. You get like the perfect storm kind of a situation. So I said no Legos. This was last night. So sure enough, she's on her Legos. I'm like, oh man. So I told her through the camera, don't get distracted, get dressed. And she's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And so I get up. So about 10 minutes go by, and I check in on her again because she hasn't come downstairs. She's dressed, but she's on her Legos again. Like, oh no. So I go upstairs.
Always rain. No.
Can I help you?
No. No, Nito.
It looks like you just need an extra pair of hands. There you go. I see what. Wait. I see what you need. It's just too tall on the other side. It's just too tall
No,
on the other
it's
side.
not. No, it's not.
No. This is too tall.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Look, I'll show you.
No.
Hold it up, say
Ed. No. I know what I'm doing.
Mind you, she was already having a meltdown before I got up there. But there's no way I could have talked her down. This tower that she was working on had fallen 2 times before, and this was the 3rd time. And I assume, and you can hear that we're arguing about it, but I'm trying to stay calm, that she wants it a certain height, and she's telling me no, it needs to, but it's coming out cockeyed, and it won't, Legos, it has, if something needs to be fit in, it needs to fit in, but it's like this, and so it's breaking on her, and I'm just like, I just need her to get away from the Legos, but in order to do that, I have to talk her down, so I'm trying to stay calm, nice and quiet voice. And, in the back of my mind, I know that this is anxiety. This is stress. I know that when she got up this morning and she wasn't listening, and she was whistling, and she was talking, and she was singing, that was stress. It was her ADHD compensating for the excitement and the overstimulation that was already in her system, that it's the first day of school. So this meltdown, I kind of saw coming. So I was prepared for it. So at the end of all of that, I just walked out to get dressed, and I hear her slam the door and stomp downstairs, and I'm like, well, at least she got herself away from it. So I finished getting dressed, I come downstairs, and I see her pouting in a corner. Okay, she stopped crying though. Kudos to that. She had her shoes on, the wrong shoes, but she had her shoes on. So I tell her gently, we need to change shoes. She takes it like a champ. So we get her shoes done, we get her hair done, we get out of the house.
Away, we keep our island in our mind. And when it's time to find home, we know the way.
So I made her run to school, which I didn't make her. I didn't have to make her do anything. She wanted to, but it was great because it worked out perfectly. This was in my plan to begin with. If I walk or run her to school, it'll get out some of that pent-up energy, which takes care of a lot of the anxiety that's just sitting in her system, and hopefully she'll start out with a really good beginning for her first day of school. New teacher who doesn't understand or know what's going on, because this is new to her too. Aurora is new to her. Different quirks, different classmates, same classmates that you probably had a problem with last year, and then just the excitement of seeing the friends from last year in your class. So all these things can pent up.
So at the end of the day, when I picked her up, the teacher said that she had a good day, and she sounded very excited, almost like she was trying to convince Aurora that she had a good day, which tells me that although they had a good day, Aurora was sad. So I couldn't really get out of her why she was sad, but you could just see that she was just on a high level of stimuli right now, or at the time. So I didn't really bombard her with all the usual questions that I give her, like, did you see any of your friends? What friends did you see? What part of class did you enjoy more? I think I asked her 2 questions, and she really just started getting anxious about it, and so I just let it go. So I let her walk home nice and slow. It was kind of hot. We get home, I give her a snack. She didn't want her iPad. That's the only time she can have her iPad on school days, is after school for about 20 minutes while she has her snack. But she said, no, I don't want it. She was watching a movie, happily eating her her grapes, and I'm like, okay. So once she was done with her grapes, she was in a good mindset. Um, she didn't go upstairs. She didn't play with her Legos. She just happily watched a movie with us. And they get out at 4 o'clock, and so there's not a lot of time to do too much between getting home from school and then dinner time. So she just sat on the couch and finished a movie that we had started the night before. So, and because of all that stimulation that she had throughout the day, I just wanted her to decompress. So we just let her. And she was happy. And then once the movie was over, she was chatting to us. She was excited. She was playing with her brother here and there. And I'm like, this is good. We're back on track. And she told me she had paperwork for me to fill out from school, from the teacher. Okay. So although I felt like she probably could have had a better day. I think for the first day of school, for someone on new medication, a new teacher, and all this pent up energy and anxiety, it probably couldn't have gone better. And now we're on day 2, so fingers crossed.